Here we go.
Yeah.
Let's get it.
I'm trying to be a parent, but I gotta run an errand. I promise when I'm back, I'ma feed my kid a carrot. Damn, this stuff is tough, man, I thought it was inherent. I'm trying to be a parent, I'm trying to be a parent. Sometimes you gotta drink, cause that shit can be kinda stressful. Sometimes you hit the blunt, cause that green will help you rest, yo. You know your ass be slacking when
Dancing
you
Fruit, buddy.
things on YouTube.
Like, bro, where do I watch that Dancing Fruit, though?
Now welcome to the podcast, trying to parent and make
Keanu.
moms laugh. Who you know got it like the King's family. Amanda and Sean, it's the name G.
Keanu and Nina.
Whoa, he's going
Now
crazy.
welcome to the podcast.
And here's the
trying to parent
beat.
and
Yeah,
make
go
moms
ahead.
laugh. Who
Spit
you
something,
know
buddy.
got it like the King's family. Amanda and Sean, it's the name G.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all.
Welcome back. Episode 64. We're going to try and get some consistency over these next couple podcasts. Did you have something to say?
Yeah, Keanu is very vocal right now as soon as we pressed record.
Of course. Wants to get his 2 cents in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. Well, we got a lot to talk about because it's been a while. And it's been a while since I put a podcast out. All right, buddy. So we got a lot to talk about because there's a lot that happened. If you're not aware, there's actually no fucking way you're listening to this podcast unless you know this is a Trying to Parent podcast. And, I mean, credit to you. Also, I want to give a quick shout out to Tom Beadle, gentleman that we work with. He was just shouting at our podcast, everybody at the Leader Summit.
That's so sweet.
Wish I had some stickers. You had to give him some merch to pass out because he is on top of his game. Big promoter. So if you listen to this, buddy, much appreciated.
We love you. Thank you.
Bedler. But anyways, where should we start? I don't remember the last things that we talked about.
So we were getting ready to go to Florida.
Okay. Yeah. So we talked about potentially moving there and everything.
I believe so.
Okay. So before that, I went to Asheville.
Yes.
North Carolina.
Right before we went to Florida.
Yep. We had a Leaders Summit thing for work that I attended, and Asheville was actually one of the places that Amanda and I were like, oh my, that might be a cool potential place to live.
Like everyone else also seems to think.
Yeah, way too expensive. Way too expensive as far as like, I mean, there's a bunch of California people out there. We looked at housing prices. Even our friends renting out there, $1,800 or something for a small 2-bedroom apartment.
Yeah.
Just, oh
my gosh.
yeah, he's watching Dancing Fruit. We'll talk about Dancing Fruit here too. So he gets down to that. But it was a great event. Had an awesome time. Really cool to hang out with everybody. Just, really, really awesome. Asheville was pretty. I don't think it's a place for the cost of it that I would live, but it's very pretty.
Interesting.
So,
sometimes you got to go places to mark them off the list.
yeah, not saying that it wasn't cool, and I guess I could live there, but not at that price. I
Yeah.
would expect more at that price.
Yeah.
So that was cool. That was the first time that we had been away from each other for more than like a night at most.
Yeah, I think
I don't even remember the last time we were away from each other before that for a night. When was that?
when I went to New York for work.
Holy shit! How long ago was that?
Obviously a few years. No, I think it was May 2022.
Okay.
That was the last time we were away from each other.
For
I think
at least a night.
Yeah, I think for a night.
Yeah, we don't spend a lot of time apart, people. It's weird. Like, I don't know how many couples do. We've been together for coming up on 6 years.
Yeah, coming up on 6.
And I mean, obviously we were apart quite a bit early on, especially at the very beginning of a relationship. But since then, unless it was like work trips or something, but we go long periods of time without spending any time away from each other because our relationship doesn't need that.
No.
We don't need separation. We don't need time apart.
No.
And now we can't afford to have time apart because
Yes, we have a baby now.
this guy is a hoot.
That's funny. But yeah, so it was interesting to be away from you, but your mom was still here.
Luckily, my mom was here. Yeah.
So I mean,
The real OG.
yeah,
She
they were
was
definitely a real OG.
she was here all the way up until we went to Florida. She came with us to Florida, and then she stayed
we
out
went
there.
with her.
Yeah, we went with her to
to
Florida.
Florida.
Yeah, because she was supposed to be going, and then we're like, oh, you know what? I think we'll probably, try and move to Florida. And then it's like, you know what? You're already going out there. If we're gonna live together, might as well.
Let's start this fucking shit going.
Yeah, let's go check some places out. And it's always good to see my sister and the kids. They're also a hoot. I don't think I've used that phrase in 10 years, and I just used it twice.
Yeah, well, that's your dad now. So.
Yep. Gotta get some good dad jokes going. But so yeah, the Asheville thing, that was really cool. We were apart.
My goodness.
You're really loving Dancing Fruit, huh? So let's talk about Dancing Fruit really quickly. Do you want to talk about that before we talk about Florida?
So I saw this on, of course, Facebook, the mom group, January's babies, whatever. Everyone was like, oh, my Velcro baby likes Dancing Fruit. It's the only way that I can literally do anything and
you
set
want to
him
explain
down.
what a Velcro baby is?
A Velcro baby is basically what it sounds like. Your baby is attached to you like they are made of Velcro. They cry when you set them down. They want to be held all the time. It's hard to do anything. And Keanu is that.
That's not concerning at all. We were thinking, we're going to have a super cool baby. He's going to be really chill. We have some friends that have some super chill babies.
I was like, I'll be able to go to the gym, no problem, like shower.
He's like, yeah, you can if I'm with you. And you're holding me.
And you're holding me like.
He's like, you're going to get jacked. We're going to work on muscles in your back and in your neck that you've never worked on before.
Yeah.
From constantly holding a increasingly heavy weight. Just a weight that's going to slowly get heavier and heavier as your strength increases.
And he didn't even like being in a carrier for like the first 2.5 months. Granted, we've tried different ones, so
I mean, he was really so thin, and you like you fall through a single hole in a carrier, like one those that you strap onto yourself.
Yeah, but Dancing Fruit, it's on YouTube. It's by a company called a Hey Bear, and it's basically just party music to fruit with eyeballs and smiles on them that are dancing on the black screen. So it's high contrast. He follows it.
He loves high contrast stuff.
Yeah.
That's why he's so into it. The cool music. I mean, obviously he's good without the music because he's watching it right now.
And he's going fucking bananas.
And he's loving it. So it's literally just like fruit that's falling or going across the screen and dancing.
Or
it's not
shaking.
It's not like creepy faces or anything. It's all very cartoonish.
Yeah, very cute.
And yeah, they just like dance back and forth. They don't have legs. They don't have arms. It's just pieces of fruit moving.
Yep.
And again, he loves it.
He digs it.
So
he's watching that right now. That's why he's making noises. So I don't know how much time we have, but
yeah, you might hear some fusses and somebody getting upset. Also, we got him into Pokemon a little bit. You know, started watching old episodes of the original, the OG Pokemon.
Yep. How it all began.
Yep. So he's definitely digging that. Wow. You're getting wild, buddy. You're kicking those legs. So we went to, like I said, we went to Florida. So I know we talked about this before, but
At least I think we did.
yeah, I think we did. We had decided, we were looking at different places that we might potentially want to live because we're like, all right, cool, we did our thing in Mexico. By the time we feel like we want to move, it'll probably be about 1.5 years that we've been here. And it was a great experience. We had a baby, we got him dual citizenship, all of that stuff went well. We met some really awesome people that we're going to be friends with for a really long time. And yeah, just a really cool first experience. There were a lot of hard things. There were a lot of cool things.
And it's just a chapter in our large story and time for the next chapter. Mm-hmm. So, we went to Florida. We kind of were...
My mom had been pressing on us. She's like, I really want you guys to live in Florida because they're looking to move out of California in the next year and a half at most, maybe, because everything's getting so expensive. So they're like, me and your dad are going to leave. And the only reason we're going to go to Florida is because your sister's there with the kids. And so they want to be around the grandkids as much as possible. And
As every grandparent does.
not every grandparent. But they're like, my mom's just like, you guys should really move to Florida. You should like, what if we look at houses? Like, would you guys go in on it with me and your dad? And we're just like, no, don't want to live.
Florida people are dumb.
Yeah.
No offense.
Yeah.
I didn't want that rubbing off. Keanu.
Florida is...
No offense to any Floridians. I know some of you are great, but the overall opinion for West Coast people of Florida's are probably equally as bad as West Coast opinions of people from Florida.
I mean, your guys' opinion of people from Florida's got to be pretty bad. You know what happens. That's why Florida's like a different country. So we're like, there's no way we want to move to Florida. So we did decide that we're going to leave Mexico, and we're like, well, let's maybe look at a couple other potential places. So we started looking at Knoxville. Knoxville came up, and we're like, you know what? This is like a really cool, pretty, beautiful place. It's got 4 seasons. One thing we wanted was a place that didn't have just all summer.
I said I'm not going to be pregnant in another super hot place. I mean, granted, if it's just summer, that's one thing, but it's just hot all the time here, essentially.
Yeah.
And I was so hot.
Yeah. And people are like, well, why don't you go back to Arizona? We don't like Arizona.
And that the Chandler house won't fit our needs anymore.
Yeah,
it's not big
square
enough.
feet.
We'd have to redo all the doors because they're hollow, and then I could hear you on your calls and you could hear me on mine, and there's just a lot of things that we have to do that I would rather just fix it up in between tenants and live somewhere else.
Yeah. And it's always hot there. I mean, sure, it gets a little cool.
Yeah, it was gorgeous when we went there.
Yeah, it gets cool in the winter and whatnot, but I don't want to be in the desert. After having a beach, after, those type of things, it's not like Arizona's any cheaper than anywhere else now.
No, it's booming.
And I mean, we're closer to certain people and further away from others.
Granted, I will miss my friends and family, but if we're in the States, then it's a little bit easier and free because traveling with Keanu internationally is an extra $70, even though I'm not buying a ticket for him. But he can travel for free in the States. Yeah,
and a lot of people wanted to come down here to see us because it was really beautiful and awesome beach and everything. Boy, the beaches by my sister's place
are equally
Navarre, Pensacola, Destin. We're talking about white sand.
No sarcasm.
Crystal clear water. Not stinky.
Yeah,
Keanu. A lot of kids. You're right, Keanu. Just so beautiful. So we decided to take the trip up there with my mom when she was going back because she needed to go stay with my sister for a little bit to help with the kids. And all that time leading up, we're like, let's look at houses. Like, let's find a bunch of houses. Let's check the real estate market and see what type of stuff we're looking for. Do you want to talk about some of the stuff? Excuse me, guys, if you just heard me burp, drinking my diet soda.
I also have a diet soda.
She's a diet cola.
Diet cola, yeah. So.
Do you want the things we needed in a home?
So we needed some space, man, because we're thinking 2 kids, 4 adults. We each need our own living spaces. So we were thinking minimum 2,500 square feet, ideally larger. 5 bedrooms at least. Yeah. Mm-hmm. 3 bathrooms and a yard so the kids can play. Nina and Callie can run around. Just something that's going to be big enough. Here we go.
Oh, here he goes.
It's like, I'm bored now. Just something that's going to be big enough to make it work so that way we're not all on top of each other. Because if we're going to be living together, like, I don't want anyone to feel like...
Mommy's whipping out the boob. Hold on, guys. Hey, don't grab the headphones, buddy. Oh, this is real. Oh, he got those headphones good. He's got that cord. There we go. Oh, he's going to grab it again. Don't worry, buddy. Mommy's getting the boob. It's getting crazy. Oh, he's going wild. This is it, folks. This is the life. This is trying to parent and podcast. This man loves sucking on his fingers. Not his thumb.
Nope.
Just his fingers. So I'm really interested in how that's going to mess with his teeth. Because normally when you suck your thumb, you suck it in the position where it's pushing, like the back of your thumb is against the top of your tongue, and the inside of your thumb, like your part where your fingerprints are and everything, is up against the roof of your mouth. So when your teeth start coming in, you're pushing them like out, like creating buck teeth. But the way he sucks his fingers,
he's just trying to puke and rally.
Yeah,
after
it's like he's trying to, put his fingers down his throat, is make himself choke, so he pukes up all the alcohol he's been pounding. So we'll see how that goes, but he absolutely loves sucking on his fingers.
Loves those fingers.
Yep. So, like you were saying, those are all the things that we needed for the house. We want a nice yard because, again, we've never lived in a place with a reasonably sized yard.
2-car garage.
Bought that lot in Texas, which we're like, 2 acres. This is going to be, tons of space, blah, blah, blah. That didn't work out. So we ended up selling the land. And so, the reason why we decided to look for a place in Florida is because we're like, you know what? We've spent time near your family in Arizona. We've spent time near your family up in
Oregon.
The Pacific Northwest when we lived in Washington. And I haven't been in the same state as my sister for 10 plus years.
Yeah.
And
I guess you deserve to
to
get your cup filled as well.
I mean, let's just be honest. Together as a couple, we have a better relationship with my family as far as like how we all
interact with each other.
Interact together. So, just decided, all right, if we can find a place close to Sam and the kids, that we could do that. And if we went in on a house with my parents and they paid half the mortgage, we paid half the mortgage, our mortgage half would be covered by our 2 rental properties that we currently have. And so we'd be able to save a little bit more money and, do all of those extra types of things, start putting money away. We had a good chunk of money that we were about to put into something that we decided, hey, we'll put this down in the house. My parents are coming in with some money of their own down on the house. And just a way to, my sister has a 2.5-year-old and a just turned 5-year-old. So Keanu will have some cousins to kind of grow a little bit with and play with. And in no way does this mean that we are not going to be going to other countries and living other places, especially in the future. But in the near future, it'll be shorter
stints.
Trips, a couple months at a time or something like that.
I can work 3 months out of the country.
Yeah.
So if I want to keep my job again.
Yeah. So essentially what our next move will be, because we want to have, which is blowing my fucking mind, we want to have 2 kids under 2. Because
this one is a lot.
Boy, this is hard.
This is legitimately the hardest thing I've ever done. And I know, and I don't know how people have so many fucking kids. I don't know how single moms do it. I'm having a hard time, and I had help.
Shout out to single moms. This is the hardest thing I've ever done, and I haven't even done that much of it. It's hard for me watching her do a lot of the hard stuff. It's incredibly challenging. I'm sure some babies are easier than others. Yeah. He doesn't seem to be one of those babies.
He's very clammy.
Is he? It's kind of clammy in here. You good, buddy?
I'm on a medication, and I'm a little iffy about it. Even though the doctor said I can breastfeed on it, Google had some other words to say about it.
Yeah, Amanda's got strep, or she believes she has strep. You're banging his head on the microphone. Yeah.
Hey, baby. Mommy's sorry.
So, yeah, like we said, this is hard.
I'm trying to put my boob away just so I can do more research, but yeah, anyways.
Suck on the fingers, Bubby. So we went out to Florida, and luckily he's been a champ on the fucking planes.
Yeah.
There hasn't been a flight that he's really had an issue with yet, and we've taken flight to AZ, flight back, flight to Florida and flight back, right?
Yeah.
So.
And only one of all of those were direct. Mm-hmm. So he's had layovers and customs and all that shit.
Yeah, you would think he knows how to travel a little bit. Seems like it. But everybody's just like, hey, man, this kid's a champ on the plane, and he's been great. He gets nothing but compliments on how cute he is. Mm-hmm. No more bitches telling us that he's...
failure to thrive.
Yeah, struggling to, God. You weighed him he got his 3-month weigh-in, and...
I weighed him at your sister's, and he was
That's
11 pounds, 2 ounces.
Yeah, so again, we all know he's not the biggest kid on the block, but
he gained a whole pound, almost a pound and 1 ounce from Arizona, which was like 2 weeks before. So,
so he's putting on weight. I mean, you guys see the pictures. He's a long, skinny guy, but he's still looking good. Mm-hmm. So does a great job out to Florida. We get there, and then we obviously working with the real estate broker lady and her associate as well. So there's a team of 2, and they lined up a bunch of the houses that we were interested in seeing, and kind of took one day and went and saw them all. And
there was like 8 of them that we saw.
Yeah, it was very good to go do. I would highly suggest don't ever buy a house just by looking at the pictures. Not that you would, but don't do that.
Yeah, definitely don't do that. You'd be surprised how many of those, like, we walked in and we're like, oh, popcorn ceiling on a 2,500 square foot house. I'm not doing that.
Yeah. God, so many popcorn ceilings. Oh, you're freaking out, huh?
He's probably hot.
Do you want me to turn the other air?
We're going to turn the air on, guys. Sorry. He's a sweaty boy. And you guys get to...
I'm just going to hear him. I mean, this is what the podcast is now. Sorry,
this
guys.
is real life.
Maybe we'll... Nope, this is definitely what it's going to be. So anyways, basically, this is... it was a very successful trip. We went and saw a lot of houses. And like Amanda said, the first one we walked into were like...
They had like a crazy death closet upstairs with killer narrow stairs. I don't know. It was so weird.
Walked in there and I'm like, this is a no for me. Like,
I don't need to see anymore.
Yep, I'm like, I'm good. They're like, want to see over here? Like, and you can't hurt our feelings. These aren't our houses. And we're just showing you the stuff that you guys want to see. I'm like, yeah, I can tell you right now, nope. This ain't working. And so they kind of progressively got better. We kind of knew ones. We had gone through and did like a ranking system on houses that we liked, things we liked about them, all these different aspects of them that were going to make them, potentially livable for us, potential winner. And so we did the ranking system, and even with the ranking system, if we just went off the ranking system, I think our number 1 house was a big no for me too.
Yeah.
But a lot of the houses that we went and saw were built by the same builder that we were seeing this new build from. It's called Adams Homes. And so very similar layouts to a lot of the houses and everything. Luckily, out in Florida, lots are much bigger than we're used to for sure in Washington, but definitely as well in Arizona, especially if you're not living out in the boonies.
Yeah.
Everything, you're talking about a 1/4 of an acre lot is kind of
standard.
Yeah, standard, which was super cool because we're like, oh fuck, 1/4 of an acre lot, that's a pretty good size. You can get a nice little front yard, nice little backyard. My sister has right about a 1/2 an acre, and her backyard is fucking huge.
Yeah.
And so we're like, all right, well, 1/2 an acre would be cool, but I don't know if we need all of that. That's going to be a lot of potential work and whatnot.
Yeah, seriously.
A lot of land to, landscape and all that shit if it's not already done. So went around that whole day with my mom and us and the real estate brokers and just kind of checked out some houses. And we came across 2 that we really liked. One was an older house that, had a pool, had been kind of redone, was really nice, a little bit on the smaller side.
Yeah.
And didn't quite check all of our boxes. It had some really cool things that we liked, of course, the pool.
Yeah. But all the bedrooms were touching each other.
Yeah.
In some fashion. I don't know.
And it didn't have like maybe the best living quarter situation for my parents. So
it would require some manual configuration to kind of make it work. And
Yep. So
And it was at the top of the budget.
It was at the very top of the budget. And before we went out there, we got like pre-approved for our loan. So we knew if we found something, we could end up, saying, hey, we want this. So I'm going to change this again. Mode. There we go. All right. So we ended up seeing this new build, which when we first came across it, we were like, this floor plan fits essentially exactly what we need. Yeah. The layout of it is ideal. Right when you walk in the door, it had 2 kind of rooms off to the side. And all the rooms in there were huge.
Fucking the biggest bedrooms out of all of the houses we saw. The biggest bedrooms I've seen
consistently in as multiple bedrooms. You've seen a giant master, or you've seen, one big room or something like this, but all the rooms were
at least 14 by 13.
Yeah. And these 2 up front that we were looking at to put my parents in, one would be their room, and then there was a Jack and Jill, and then the other room would be their living space. So they'd hook up their TV, their couch, all of that type of stuff in that area. And we were talking, those rooms were 16 by 14.
Yeah, they were big.
Giant rooms. And they get their own bathroom. So a cool little setup for them. So we walk in and we see this place, and we're like, oh, this is really nice. It was just under 2,700 square feet. The master was, really nice and big. Of course, no place is perfect. We have certain style and certain things that we like and we would want in a house. But at the price point that one was at, the location, which it's in Milton, Florida, which is probably about 35 minutes north of my sister, who lives basically right on the beach.
Yeah.
So really it's about 35 to 40 minutes away from the beach. Uh-oh. Dancing fruit not doing it for you, buddy? Uh-oh.
Doesn't sound like it.
Somebody getting upset. What can we do to help, Keanu? What do you need?
It's you're not standing.
Yeah, it's you're not moving around enough. You gotta shake, 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 shake. So, yep.
Anyway, so we found that it was one of them that was in the middle of construction. It would be ready by, they said summer.
Yeah.
And there were some other ones that would be ready by fall, but those ones were not hooked up to city water. Those were septic. Mm-hmm. Granted, it was a little cheaper, but it was a little farther outside. So.
Yeah, just a little bit further away. The cool thing with that home and everything is their sorry, I'm losing my train of thought with the baby. Right. They had all these deals going on with, if you did this, we'll give you, there's $15,000 in, what do they call that?
An incentive.
Yeah.
Or flex money.
Flex money, yep. So $15,000 in flex money that you could either buy down the interest rates with or do other things like finish off fencing, all of that type of stuff. And I don't know how good this podcast is going to come out if there's just constant baby crying in the background, guys. So really sorry about that. I might throw on the pause and get this figured out for now. So we'll be back. And we're back. And to be honest with you, it could have been 45 minutes. It could have been 30 seconds. You'll never know. It was actually a pretty quick turnaround. So appreciate that, Bubby. Glad you're liking your little swingy swing. We'll talk about some of the cool things that you got while we were gone. Didn't Mimi buy that?
No. That was Black Sean.
Oh, Black Sean. Thanks, Black Sean. Clearly, not me. Other Black Sean. Black Sean. So what were we talking about while he was losing his stuff?
Oh, so yeah, the one home was going to be ready this summer, and it
was in a nice neighborhood. We went and saw it being constructed, and it was in the phase where they were getting ready to paint the inside, and it had some stuff done. So we went and looked at the lot that we would be. Oh, you're watching Dancing Fruit. I didn't realize it was right there in the corner.
I figured I would see what I could do.
Yeah, he was liking it. We drove over there, just kind of see the location, see the neighborhood. There's a super sweet preschool right out front.
Yeah, daycare center.
Oh yeah, daycare, which is
I would walk
in the
him.
stroller. Yeah, like an 8-minute walk out to the front of the complex or out to the front of the neighborhood. But just the lot specifically, really nice backyard, had some trees back there, just a really ideal layout. Kind of reminded me, I felt similar vibes as when we went to purchase the Texas land. I'm just like, oh, this is
Yeah, I like
nice.
how I feel when I'm here.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is really important.
So
Wow, Keanu.
hey, you get what you get,
Yeah,
man.
you
This
get what
is
you get.
all we can tell you is you're not going to hear screaming into the microphone, crying. I mean, the entire time. So, yeah, we really liked that house. So we were chatting with my dad, who wasn't there, because obviously he has an opinion on, he was actually in Australia, which made it a little difficult to communicate with him.
He wouldn't wake up till like 4:30 or 5 in the afternoon for us, and it was 8 in the morning for him. And
Yeah. So, long story short, we put a little hold on that house just to make sure that it didn't get swooped up.
yeah.
And
Sean's dad's going out there for his sister's birthday in May, so he'll be able to look at it and everything like that and kind of give the final say, even though I know he's going to love it.
yeah, he's definitely going to love it. And again, it's in Milton, which is kind of an up-and-coming area of Florida. A lot of new builds going up out there, a lot of expansion going up. But when you're looking at getting a quality place with a nice-sized lot and just something good, I think that was without a doubt best option available. Fit our needs the best as far as house, everything that it offered.
Yep, price is right. 35 minutes to the beach, like 30 minutes to the airport.
Yep.
It's kind of worked out well.
Yep. So outside of that, we did some driving around, checked out, the Pensacola area, checked out the Milton area, just kind of, I think because we've only been out to my sister's once, right, together.
Mm-hmm.
So wasn't super familiar with the Navarre area, with the Pensacola area, with the, Milton area. So we did some driving around. Really beautiful out there. A lot of greenery. Kind of weird. That part of Florida is like a pine tree type part. Like it's not.
Yeah, super interesting. It has palm trees and pine trees.
Yeah, it's not like Miami where you're thinking like everything is super tropical and everything. It's still very green, but it's a little bit more like it's a mix between tropical and forest.
Yeah.
Which is kind of funny. Cool. But
Yeah.
I mean, just a pretty laid back place. There's not a ton of people that live out there. One of the cool things is we'll be in an area that, people down there love sports, which is cool. I'm definitely going to go to a Bama game.
Yeah.
We won't be that far from Tuscaloosa. I think that's where they play.
I have no fucking idea.
Yeah, maybe an Auburn game or something. But
Or maybe even Florida State.
yeah, Florida State.
We'll just have to go and
LSU.
see.
Definitely want to go to a Tigers game in
Yeah.
Death Valley. But again, just because that's the type of stuff we like. Like, not saying people over here on the West Coast don't like college sports as much, but
The SEC hits different.
yeah, down there it's in their fucking blood. Like, they'll wear their shit to their weddings and stuff. Like, it's wild. So it's bigger than. I mean, they don't have really any NFL teams in the South, so it's do or die for them, especially in these states like Alabama, Louisiana. I know they have the Saints, but Derek Carr sucks.
I mean, we could go to a Saints game.
Yeah, we definitely
They
go to
play
a
the
Saints game.
Cardinals, But,
But yeah, so, just in that sense, there are kind of people where we're like, we love sports. You guys love sports. Right on. Then we were watching that YouTube video and that guy was talking about how it was that sports day and you had people bringing their TVs down to the beach with their hookups so they made sure they didn't miss the games and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, fuck yeah, I'm down for that.
Yep, that's my tailgate
That's
on the
my
beach.
yeah.
I like that.
So
That's funny.
really cool area again, laid back. The people that we came across were nice. A lot of really good restaurants, a lot of places to eat.
The roads were nice.
Roads were nice. It's not anything, it's not cheaper really than anywhere else we could have or would have potentially lived. But it's not, it's not outrageous. I think it's probably as expensive, if not maybe a little less than Arizona, because Arizona's been blowing up. Mm-hmm. So there's good, there's bad, but the nice thing is we'll be around family, and that's what
splitting those costs.
Splitting those costs, yeah. Have a little bit more money to save, have a little bit more money to do some things with, especially once my parents move in. Like I said, they won't be there for at least a year, maybe a year and a half. And just another property that we'll have.
Yep.
Another property that will add to our
repertoire.
Yeah, our portfolio, I think is the correct word. So, Dancing Fruit froze just on Mr. Pineapple.
Uh-oh.
Oh, Bubby. Yeah, I don't know what's going on either.
Oh, yeah. So then, so we put the deposit down. The next morning, I flew back by myself with Keanu. Sean had to stay an extra 2 nights.
Yeah, had some work stuff I was dealing with. I had to be in the States for. Oh, and you had to do your pee thing again.
Oh my gosh, yes. So the infinite banking policy. We did them in Arizona. We did the blood and the urine samples, and they kept rerunning mine. But I think I drank too much water. I definitely drank a lot of water that morning in Arizona. So in Florida, they were like, hey, we need you to do it 2 separate days. And I was like, what? She's like,
that's not concerning.
She's like, I've never heard of this happening. I'm like, oh, that's fucking great. I ran out of my multivitamins, so hopefully Keanu isn't just depleting me of everything I have. And they're like, holy shit, this lady's about to die.
You have no nutrients in you.
1% calcium left in your bones. I have no idea what they're concerned about, but it's making me a little bit nervous. But so I had to do 2 separate urine tests when we were out there.
You've done blood here.
Yeah, I know. And I don't think I've done urine here, though.
What's in your urine that's not in your blood?
I have no idea.
Barbecue sauce.
Butter barbecue sauce.
That's blood.
Yeah, so it just, that happened in Florida, but whatever. And then we just got an email that they have to rerun it again. So
just rerun it. They don't have to get more pee samples. Yeah. They're just like
retesting
it
the
again.
ones that they got. Yeah, which also doesn't.
It'll be interesting. Will be interesting what they find out.
Who knows? But so flying back with him was fine. People were super helpful.
We were very concerned.
Yeah, because we had to bring the stroller in the car seat because I was bringing a box back for this swing. The swing that he's in right now, my friends sent to Florida because you can't send it to Mexico. So I had a bunch of things, and it was fairly difficult. But people were really helpful, men and women.
Yeah, I was like, there's a fucking gnat in here.
I get it. So it honestly wasn't that bad. He was smiling at everyone we were sitting next to on the plane. Luckily, I sat next to women in the whole row on both flights so I could breastfeed and not feel weird. But they were all super helpful in, holding him while I put the carrier back on at the end of the flight and things like that, and getting my bags and helping get the stroller and all that shit. So it wasn't really that bad. And we were fine when we were at the house.
Yeah. Again, that was the first time that she was going to be alone with Keanu, with my mom not there, me not there for a couple nights, extended period of time, getting all the way back from Florida to Mexico. Like, it was just concerning.
I hear you, buddy.
Yeah. But
is it still frozen?
Nope, it's been playing.
Okay.
Hey, bear. Yeah, we ended up making it work, and I got back a couple days later, and it's been good since then. Oh wait, he's had sleep regressions.
I'm pretty sure that's what it was. It's only been 2 nights where he fucking slept for 3 hours, and then he woke up every hour just screaming and couldn't figure out what was going on. Tried everything, but I was so exhausted. That's probably why I got sick, because I didn't sleep.
Yeah.
I'm honestly surprised I haven't been sick yet, because normally when I don't get it, like if I go out when I was younger and I would go out and party too much and I didn't get sleep, I would get sick.
And then Good point, buddy. Yeah, good point. And then she's like, yesterday she started not feeling great. So she's like, you know what? I'm going to do 2 shots of tequila and have some champagne because we all know that helps being sick.
Yeah, I was like, I'm just going to kill whatever. And then I woke up in the middle of the night and I was like, I have a fucking headache. But I'm like, I didn't drink the whole bottle. You had some.
Yeah, I definitely had some.
But I was like, there's fucking no way. And then my throat kept, every hour that I would wake up, I was like, oh, it's getting a little worse. Oh, it's getting a little worse. Maybe I'm sleeping with my mouth open. And then I was like, oh, my lymph nodes are definitely, the lymph nodes.
Oh, yeah, because I got sick in Florida.
Yeah.
Most likely from the kids.
Probably.
But it was just like
sore throat,
coughing.
cough.
I never had a sore throat.
Oh, you didn't?
Nope.
Oh.
Just coughing, runny nose, stuffy nose, a lot of head congestion and that stuff. So I was pounding the vitamin C, and then and that was while I was on antibiotics for the sty that was in my eye.
Won't go away.
And it's not going away. So not really sure what to do about that. Not excited.
Yeah, I don't know how you got sick on your second round of antibiotics.
Yeah. So
I went to the doctor this morning, and she gave me antibiotics that you have to inject.
Oh, yeah. Injectable antibiotics for strep throat. Have you guys heard about that? I mean, basically shooting Amanda with steroids.
There's one steroid that we can't open that I have to go swap out because
they put it in a glass container, a glass sealed container that's completely sealed, and you have to break the glass to get the shit out. They're like, no, you just got to break the top off. You're like, what the fuck do you mean?
Sean can't even open it.
It's glass, and I have to break this glass to get this stuff, put it into this needle, and then inject it in me. You want me to break glass in case of emergency? They're like, yeah, but don't inject the glass into your body after doing that. It's fucking insane.
It's crazy. So I could not do it. I chickened out. I sat there in the bathroom.
I told her because I've taken testosterone
me.
before, so I've given myself shots in the ass.
Yeah, buddy. Mm-hmm. I hear you.
He said, "Hey, bear." Yeah. So I've done it before. I'm like, you know what? You just gotta
do it.
You just gotta look back at your butt cheek. You know, get it all ready. I got everything ready for it. Put it in the needle and all that stuff. I'm like, this is a gauge needle that I use. It goes in fairly easy. This is about where you're gonna stab yourself, and set everything up for. I'm like, all right, don't do it soft, because I've had times where I just like jab myself, but I didn't do it hard enough, so it kind of stabbed me, but it didn't go all the way through, because then I'd have to like either push it through more or pull it out and do it again. So I gave it to Amanda. I was like, all right, handle this. Like, poke yourself in the butt. It's not going to be that bad. And I left the bathroom.
And I'm like, I can't do it. You got to help me.
So I came back in and I was like, all right, I'll do it for you. And then I did exactly what I told her not to do.
It didn't hurt, though.
Went to jab her, and I didn't do it hard enough. And so I poked her a little bit. Luckily, it didn't. She said it didn't hurt, really. But I'm like, okay, I got to make sure I fucking stab her good.
I can't watch it. And we have to do this for 4 more days.
Yeah, God. Fucking.
And I have to go get the whatever the other
Getting
shit.
it into the needle is the most complicated part, because they give you like a thing where you're supposed to draw the liquid from. But first, the container has powder in it, and then they give you a separate thing of liquid that you have to put into the needle
and then
shoot it into the thing, and then shake that thing up, and then draw it out. I mean, it's this whole fucking thing. You're like, I have strep. I'm gonna die before I'm able to fucking do this thing.
I have a fever, like my head,
like it's unbelievable that they would make somebody do these type of steps just to get rid of their strep. It's all right, buddy. It's all right. We'll wrap this up here soon. Not gonna miss those fucking dogs.
No.
So yeah, it's this wild process that you have to go through. But I ended up, giving it to her, stabbing her.
Yeah, I did.
And it's pretty easy. You said it,
Didn't hurt at all.
You're like, oh, I can't even feel that it's in. Yeah, it's in. Thanks.
God, stop.
So yeah, we're gonna do that multiple more times, which is frustrating, but it is what it is. I guess that's what you gotta do down here in Mexico. Mm-hmm. How much did that cost?
$300 130 pesos
Okay. Interesting. So it's like 18,
for everything.
$20
Yeah.
for the consultation and the drugs.
Oh no, the consult. So it was like 400 with the consultation.
Okay. So, anyways, that's that. We're gonna be leaving. They said the house is gonna be ready June 19th. Juneteenth.
Oh yeah,
Oh, shit, yeah. So be ready Juneteenth. So
Nice. Welcome to Blacks to the neighborhood.
Yep. What we'll be doing is we're trying to find a way to ship the trailer on a boat over from here to, it would be Fort Lauderdale, right?
Yeah, they go to Fort Lauderdale.
Which is like 9 hours away from where we'd be at in Florida. But that would save us a bunch of time, energy, and effort trying to drive back with it through just a horrible experience
Pothole
driving out
roads.
here.
It's gonna be heavy and all that stuff too. So
Yeah. So I've packed up a lot of our shit already.
Sean's been on a mission.
Uh-oh. Somebody is upset again. You ready for us to wrap up the podcast? Dancing Crew not doing it for you anymore? All right, guys. Well, boss says wrap it up. So
We're getting shit done early. So
yeah, this was like a 48-minute podcast. So you got what you got. It's Sunday, the 21st.
Of April 2024.
Yep. It's been real.
Oh
It's
my
been
goodness.
fun. We have a kid now, and we're going to try and keep consistently giving you the podcast when we can. But he's freaking out right now. Dancing Fruit's not doing it for him. We got a lot more stuff to talk about, but we will be back next week on episode
65.
65. So,
Love you, baby.
love you too. Love you, Keanu. Say bye to everybody. All right, he said bye. Peace out, guys.